Happy morning to everyone. Welcome to my channel Biotech Info, and today I am going to take the class of biological classification. So let us start our class by getting to know how to define the classification. Classification, it is a process by which anything can be grouped into convenient categories by observable characters. So Aristotle, who is a Greek philosopher taught by Plato, is the earliest to attempt the classification in the science. He has considered the morphological characters and divided the plants into herbs, shrubs and also trees. And also in animals, he has divided into two domains, that is red blood animals and the another domain which does not. After the Aristotle, Carolus I Linnaeus, who is popularly known for the naming system, that is binomial nomenclature, giving a name to a plant or animal species by two components, that is a specific and a generic name. He has classified the organisms into two kingdoms, that is a Plantae and Animalia. But this Linnaeus system is also not going to answer a few questions like how can you differentiate an eukaryotic and prokaryotic organisms, and also unicellular and multicellular, and photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. So after Linnaeus, R.H. Whittaker in 1969 has proposed a kingdom of classification, that is a 5-kingdom classification. And in this, he has considered certain criteria, certain principles he has followed, certain characters that he has considered. What are those? Means the first one is a cell structure. The second one is about the body organization. Third one is mode of nutrition. Fourth one is reproduction. And fifth one is a phylogenetic relationships. And he has made this 5-kingdom classification. So let us get into know what is details about this one. First one is a cell type. Monera, it is a prokaryotic. So how can we explain a prokaryotic organism? Means an organism which it is not consisting of a nucleus. Or you can even say that a membrane bound nucleus is absent. And also chromosomes present, but they are not true chromosome, or you can even call it as a pseudo chromosomes. And in this particular Monera, we can see the organisms consisting, a few organisms consisting of a plastids. Now coming to the cell wall. It is made up of a non-cellulosic, and here it was mentioned polysaccharide plus amino acids. What is this? Actually, it's a polypeptidoglycan which is going to be called it as a murine, which is going to form by a chain of polysaccharides, and it is going to be cross-linked with an unusual peptides of D amino acids. What is this one? It is going to consisting of a chain of a polysaccharides, and it is going to be cross-linked with unusual peptides of D amino acids. And it is going to be called it as peptidoglycan, or you can even call it as a murine, right? And next one, nuclear membrane is absent. Just now we have discussed prokaryotic only represents that nucleus is absent, and also membrane bound nucleus is absent. And next one, body organization. It is consisting of only one single cell. That's why we are going to call it as a cellular. And next, mode of nutrition. It is an autotrophic because it is having in some organism plastids are present, and because of that one they can go for an autotrophic nutrition. And also it is a chemosynthetic. It is a photosynthetic as well as a chemosynthetic. See, photosynthetic, with the help of the pigments, it is going to prepare the food material. Chemosynthetic means the numerous number of the carbon atoms, it is going to make an matter, organic matter, with the help of an inorganic compounds like ferrous. Then you are going to call it as a chemosynthetic organisms. So this Monera Monera is considered to have, in few organisms it is autotrophic. Autotrophic also, it is a photosynthetic as well as a chemosynthetic one. And next one, heterotrophic, or also few organisms are included in this. Heterotrophic, it is going to depend on other organisms for their nutrition. Next one, saprophytic. Saprophytic means what? It is going to depend on dead and decaying organisms. And next one comes as a parasites. Parasites means what? Like it is going to depend on in or on the host. It may be a partial parasite, it may be a complete parasite. And also we can have an examples of Cuscuta plant, right? It is and also you can see some epiphytes are going to depend upon the tall trees, and it is going to get the food and water from them. So these all are the examples of the Monera. Now Protista, it is a eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means what? It is consisting of a nucleus. It is also consist of a membrane bound nucleus. It is consisting of a chromosomes, and they are the true chromosomes. And also you can see that cell wall is present, and also the nuclear membrane is present, and you can see the body organization, it is cellular. And also you can see mode of nutrition is autotrophic, photosynthetic as well as an heterotrophic. All unicellular organisms which are having a membrane bound nucleus are included in this category called as Protista. Next comes is a fungi. It is a eukaryotic organism, and it is having a with chitin. What is this one? The cell wall is made up of chitin. It is consisting of a polysaccharides. It consists of polysaccharide, but it is consisting of a material called as an chitin, which is a question that you may get for this one. Chitin, it is a fibrous substance. Fibrous substance which is made up of a chain of polysaccharides. It is going to present in the fungi. And next one comes as nuclear membrane is present, and also the body organization is multicellular. Slowly you can see the development of an organisms here from unicellular to multicellular. Now in this particular fungi you can see a loose tissue, means here there is a formation of a tissue, that is the cells is going to, it is a multicellular, and those cells are forming a tissue. That's why having a characteristic feature here. And mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, saprophytic and parasitic. Just now I said you heterotrophic, which is going to depend on other organisms for their food material, and parasitic, which is going to present in or on the host, and saprophytes, which is going to depend on dead and decaying organisms. And examples, coming to the point of examples of the fungi: yeast, moulds, mushrooms, and also the, you can even take the smuts, mildews, etc. The next one, plantain. It is a eukaryotic, and also it is consisting of a cell wall which is consisting of a material called as a cellulose. What is a cellulose? It is made up of thousands of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms, and it is going to give the stiffness to that particular plant cell wall, and also it is making the plant to withstand. It is going to make it a stiff, and also this is not going to be digested by the human beings, but it is a part of our diet. It is in the form of a fiber. Right. Next one, it is a nuclear membrane is present, and body organization, you can see here tissue to the organ. The development is now from tissue to the organs they are forming. And mode of nutrition is, because it is a plant, autotrophic, that is a photosynthetic mode of nutrition. All the plants includes in this particular plantain. It may be the bryophytes, pteridophytes, angiosperms, gymnosperms, etc. Next comes the animalia. Here it is also eukaryotic, but here you can see the cell wall is absent, and nuclear membrane is present, and here you can see the organization, cell organization from tissue to the organ. Now here in this particular you can see even organ system. And next one is a mode of nutrition is holozoic. Holozoic means what? Taking in of the food material, like engulfing the food, or you can even call it as an ingestion, taking in of the food material with the help of our mouth, right? Like that only here holozoic, the complete food material is going to be swallowed, or it may be in the form of a gaseous, or it may be in the form of a liquid, or it may be in the form of a solid. And also here you can see here also saprophytic mode of nutrition in some organisms, and all the animals are going to come under the Animaliae. Now just I want to revise again. First one, Aristotle has first to attempt the classifications, right? And he is a foremost person. And next after the Aristotle, Linnaeus. And Linnaeus, he is famous for the binomial nomenclature. And then after that, R.H. Whittaker in 1969, he has proposed this 5 kingdom classification. But in higher classes, you are going to know that 6 kingdom classification is there, right? And what, just I will give you a few points. That 6 kingdom classification was done by Karl Woers in 1977. What is that one? Karl Woers has proposed a classification of 6 kingdom in 1977, and he want to divide in the Monera into 2 domains. That is, Monera is going to have a 2 domains consisting of one is Archaebacteria and another one is a Eubacteria. And some other biologists have proposed that when it is coming to the point of 6 kingdom classification, why can't we go for the Animaliae dividing into 2 domains? That is, Animaliae into 2 domains means one is a chordata and another one is a non-chordata, because we know the characteristic features that it is consisting of a chordatas are consisting of a notochord, and also it is consisting of the halodorsal nerve, and also it is having the gill slits, right? So these are taking into the criteria, and they want to divide into 6 kingdom classification. But these all details of 6 kingdom classification in higher sections you are going to learn. So let us now get into detail about this Monera. Now let us know the characteristic features of the kingdom Monera. In Monera, bacteria are the sole members, and almost they are present everywhere. Everywhere, we can even call this one as an ubiquitous. Ubiquitous represents the organisms which are present everywhere. And even you can see hundreds of the bacteria are present in a handful of soil, right? And extreme habitats also, this bacteria is going to survive, like hot springs it can survive, deserts and snow and deep oceans. And it is divided into 4 categories. That is the round or a spherical shaped one, which is going to be called it as an cocci bacteria, rod shaped bacteria, which is going to be called it as an bacilli, and also the spiral shaped bacteria, spirella, which is consisting of a flagella at their tip region, and also a comma shaped bacteria, which is going to be called as Vibrio bacteria. Now here bacteria structure is so simple, it looks very simple, but it is very complex. The structure is very simple, but in a behavior point of view it is very complex. And next one comes is an Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria and Eubacteria, I said you the 2 domains which are present in the Monera, right? And this bacteria is going to show a complex metabolic activity. We can't even guess the behavior of a metabolic activities of this bacteria. Now Archaebacteria's first one is, bacteria are special because they live in most harsh habitats. It's going to live in an harsh habitats. It's going to survive in a very salty water also. That's why it is going to call as halophils. It's a neat point of view. You can even study this. The organisms which are going to survive in a very harsh habitats is going to be called as what? Halophils, and which is going to be coming under a domain of bacteria called as an Archaebacteria. And what are the 4 categories of bacteria? That is a coccus, bacillus, spirilla, and also the vibrio. According to the shape, they have got those names as cocci, round, bacillus, rod, spirilla, spiral in shape, and comma shape, it's a vibrio one. After the halophils, we have one more point that is called as in thermoacidophils. Thermoacidophil represents that if the bacteria is going to survive in a hot springs, it's going to be called as thermoacidophils. This also you have to underline, children. Halophils, thermoacidophils, and next one is methanogens. Methanogens means the bacteria which is present in a marshy areas are going to call as methanogens. What is the first one? Halophils, which is extremely salt area. If they are surviving, it is going to call halophils, and hot spring thermoacidophils, and marshy areas methanogens. And you can see what is the where these methanogens are present, means in the guts of various ruminate animals like cows and buffaloes, and it is helpful, these methanogens are helpful for the production of the methane gas. Gut of several ruminate animals like cows and buffaloes, in that gut these methanogens are present, and they are responsible for the production of a methane gas, which you are going to call otherwise as a biogas from the dung of the animals. Right? Methanogens which are present in the gut of the ruminate animals, which are responsible for the production of the biogas from the dung of the animals. And next one is a new bacteria, which is otherwise going to be called it as true bacteria. What is that one? True bacteria. You may even get which one is going to consider as a true bacteria. You have to say that is eubacteria. And here, what are the characteristics of this eubacteria? It is consisting of a rigid cell wall. What is it consisting of? Rigid cell wall. And also it is, if possible, in some animals it is a motile one. Then if it is a motile, then it is consisting of the flagellum. Not all the organism, but if it is a motile one, it consisting of flagellum. And next, cyanobacteria is otherwise going to be called it as blue-green algae. Which one is going to be called it as blue-green algae? Cyanobacteria is going to be called it as a blue-green algae, and they have the chlorophyll. Why we are calling it as a blue-green algae? Because it's having a chlorophyll and it is similar to the autotropic photosynthetic autotrophs. That's why we are going to call this one as a blue-green algae. And it is this eubacteria, it may be unicellular, it may be a filamentous form, or it may be colonial form, and also it is consisting in the terrestrial areas, in the marshy areas, etc. And it is consisting of a what you can say gelatinous sheets, or you can call it as a mucilaginous sheath, which is very, very sticky, and it is also going to be present, or it blooms in the polluted areas. And now you can see this is a diagram of a nostoc, which is consisting of a mucilaginous sheath, which just now I said you as a gelatinous sheath, and also it is going to be bloom in a polluted water. And also you can see here heterocysts are present. Heterocysts are responsible for fixing the atmospheric nitrogen, which is helpful for the so many organisms. Right? And also you can see that how this, if it is an heterotrophic bacteria, if you are thinking heterotrophic bacteria, when it comes, how it is helpful, means it is helping us. Now this eubacteria or true bacteria, it is a few species are there which is going for an photosynthetic bacteria, but there are certain other few species are there which is an heterotrophic bacteria. Then how they are helpful, means they are helpful for making the mankind for making the milk into curd, and also it is helpful for the preparation of antibiotics, and also it is going to cause harm to the plants and animals by causing so many diseases like cholera, typhoid, tetanus, and also citrus canker, mildews and smirts in the plant species. One more characteristic feature of a bacteria. Bacteria produced by fission, that is a binary fission, And second one, if it is unfavorable conditions are there, then it is going to produce the spores, right? Third one is sexual reproduction. If it is adopting, it will go for a primitive type of DNA and it is going to be transferred from one bacteria to the another bacteria. First one is bacteria, it is going to reproduce mostly by the fission. If unfavorable conditions are there, it will produced by the spores. And third one, it will go for the sexual reproduction with the primitive DNA by transferring from one bacteria to the another bacteria. This is a bacteria consisting of primitive DNA and also it is consisting of a cell membrane and also the cell wall. And coming to the next one is mycoplasm. The question, examination point of view, you have to remember this, mycoplasma, right? And they are completely, they lack the cell wall. These organisms, they don't have the cell wall. Which organisms they don't have the cell wall? Mycoplasma. And they are the smallest living cells and they can even survive without oxygen. What is that one? Smallest living cells, they can even survive without oxygen. And also this mycoplasmas are completely lack the cell wall. And also you can, and they are pathogenic in plant and animals also. They are pathogenic for the plants and animal cells. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel, click the bell icon, and if you click the bell icon, you will get the notifications of our upcoming videos related to the biology.